This one is hard to believe. A Republican governor, our former governor, John Kasich, comes out. And what does he want? A 1 million person march against this policy of not making sure that these weapons of war are brought under control. A Republican ex-governor. Of course, he's not in office now. Maybe that's why he has the pelotas to do it. But let's go ahead and listen to what this little interchange, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Can you explain to me the reluctance on the part of Republicans, it seems broadly across this country, to do anything when it comes to gun? I'm not talking about gun restriction, gun reform, to make it harder to get a gun, to make it harder to keep a gun if you have problems. I mean, just looking at the law in Kentucky, and I just want to remind our viewers, and I'll tell you as well in case you missed the top of the show, but according to the Giffords Law Center, to prevent gun violence, Kentucky allows anyone 21 or older who is legally authorized to purchase a firearm to carry it concealed in public. There are no legally mandated state waiting periods or background checks. Kentucky in 2020 had the 13th highest gun death rate in the country. I mean, there's no red flag law there. It was already a problem, clearly. What is the reluctance to say, hey, listen, we understand the Second Amendment is sacrosanct, yes, but there should be some reasonable restrictions. I know that I'm going to go out today after the show and there is a chance that I could get run over by a car. I understand. I take that risk every single day, just the risk of random accident. But there are rules governing how cars can operate on the roads and in cities. There are stoplights. There are stop signs. There are crosswalks. They have to go on the road and not the sidewalk. There are rules making me safer as I walk down the street. In so many places across this country, there are absolutely no rules beyond a 21 age limit for guns. How is that?
Katie, and look, we can talk about the NRA, but the group, it's the people that are out there in the districts that tell legislators, oh, no, this is a slippery slope if you do something. To me, a legislator now, a conservative Republican legislator, I believe can go forward and say, look, there's some reasonable things we can do. As governor, I can't tell you how frustrated I was by the fact that I couldn't get more done when I was there. But I can tell you what would move them. If all of a sudden there were on a consistent basis 5,000, 10,000 people on the lawns of the State House, those politicians would shrivel up. They would live in fear of the fact that they might lose their jobs. And some places you've seen reforms happen after tragedies like this, but all too often it doesn't happen. So, Katie, again, it's in our hands. You know, I would love to be able to be part of a 1 million person march to D.C., to Washington, D.C., to the Lincoln Memorial, to be able to say enough is enough already. You know, that's what I think has to happen.
What is it going to take? I agree with the man. If the public really started unelecting those people who are in the bag for the NRA and other organizations that are preventing good policies towards about guns, it would be all over. These guys it's not like politicians are brave people. These politicians go where they think the wind is blowing or where they're getting the most cash. But if they get cash, but the winds are not blowing to get them or keep them elected, the cash means absolutely nothing. So again, it's still in the hands of people. It's still in the hands of our democracy if we would simply exercise it, if we would simply use our minds to attain the things that we know are best for our humanity or best for our society. So folks, please, it's not all that difficult. Vote these guys who support these weapons of war, vote them out and start voting people in who will really save the lives of your kids, your own lives, and many more. Something may happen here. The Democratic governor lost friends, actual friends in this last killing, and several Republicans lost friends in this last killing. So maybe since it's hit so close to home, as we know, many of these guys or lacking severely in empathy? Well, when it hits closer to home, empathy no longer kicks in, but existentialism does. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.